right? Reveal to us this story of the tears. You know, brothers and sisters, I have told you time and time again what the tears were. I'm going to endeavor to do it again, so that you, who are the disciples of Christ.
Welcome to Radio Romania International Encyclopedia. I'm Eugen Nasta. The population of the Tete and the Dacians in antiquity had reportedly inhabited the territory between the Danube, the Black Sea, the Carpathian Mountains, and the Intra-Carpathian Basin. Evidence of their material culture have been unearthed in several archaeological sites. The artifacts that have been found so far even date before the time Dacia was conquered by the Romans, but also after that period of time and after the ensuing merge of the Dacian and Roman civilizations. The weapons that have been found among the excavated artifacts hold pride of place as regards the most valuable evidence that usually helps archaeologists get the picture of the Getae and the Dacian standards of progress as compared to those of the Romans. The Romans' presence at the lower Danube dates from the 1st century BC. Quite a few of the Getae and Dacian tribes had entered the orbit of the Roman civilizations. However, there were tribes that rejected such a merger or simply refused to be Roman subjects. The most rebellious Dacian king was Decebalus of the late 1st century AD. His state was located in the central southeastern part of today's Romania, in the southern Carpathians Șureanu Mountains. In the wake of two wars between 101 and 102 and 105 and 106 AD respectively, waged by Emperor Trajan, Decebalus the Dacian king was overpowered, beheaded, and his kingdom was conquered. Therefore, the Dacian-Roman synthesis emerged, a synthesis which historians describe as the act underlying the formation of the Romanian nation. Established in 2007, the Terra Dacica Eterna Association is made of a group of enthusiasts who stages reenactment performances and promotes the Getae and the Dacian culture. Dacia, the last frontier of the Roman era, is the title of an exhibition, and at its opening, Andrei Duduman of the aforementioned association dressed himself in a Dacian's apparel and presented the Dacians' weapons in a clear picture of the weapons Dacians and Romans used when they fought each other 1900 years ago. We have the Dacian warrior, some sort of heavy infantry chieftain. For the Dacian warrior, the key visual item was the shield, whose design is inspired by the models on the column. They can be admired in the lapidarium at the Romania's Museum of National History. The second very important element is the sword of a Celtic pattern, whose sheath is decorated with motifs
said about the news last night.
He's going to fly home, and obviously family at these moments is the most important thing, so we want to give him that space, and we'll see over the next few days how that all develops.
Well, Dan Rowan is our sports editor and is in Qatar. Dan, good morning from London. What else do we know about what actually happened?
Morning, Amal. Well, we understand that intruders broke into Sterling's home on Saturday night. A spokesperson confirmed to us that his partner and the couple's two young children were in the house at the time. They said that it had left him shaken and concerned for his children, and that he wanted to go back to support them. Now, what's unclear, and Gareth Southgate, you heard in that clip there, suggested this, is when and whether indeed Sterling will be able to return back here to Doha, because of course they have that hugely significant quarter-final against France, don't they, on Saturday evening. Sterling's commitment to England has never been in doubt, really, and it's only, I think, concern for his children that informed his decision to leave at such a pivotal time for the team. The FA had announced that he was unavailable for the match shortly before kick-off last night. It then emerged during the actual game, the details of what had happened, and then Southgate confirmed it, as you heard. But, you know, he is one of the most experienced members of Southgate's squad. He started in England's opening game against Iran, and you can't help feel that against a heavyweight nation like France, he could have been called upon, certainly. So I think it'll be interesting to see how the next few days pan out, but clearly the priority for him is his family right now.
But also, Dan, as you know, I've discussed in the past, he's a thoughtful, quite intense character. He's extremely close to his family. He's going to be devastated to fly home from what might be his last World Cup.
Indeed, I mean, he's only, I think, 27 now, so plenty of years ahead for him.
You said he's experienced. You're right.
He's been around a long time, but sadly as well, I think he has his family have indeed suffered such maybe not quite as serious as this case, but I think they have been the victims of burglary, as have indeed, of course, a lot of high-profile footballers, and especially when they're away on international duty or away with their clubs as well. So, yeah, a pretty serious case, and we'll await details today as to whether or not there's any further developments.
All right, Dan Rowan in Qatar. Very good to talk to you, as ever. Thanks, Dan.
The time is now.
Growing. This is a huge growth market for us. We're projected to process over 1 million packages a day. From Thanksgiving to Christmas, over 30 million packages we're projected to process.
What do you do normally, say during May or June?
We do probably about 500,000 packages a day, so we're going to double it for the holidays.
He says all the mail and packages from Seal Beach to Malibu and east to Whittier will come through here. The last day to mail stuff in time for Christmas.
mai kula da lafiyar iyali a nan gaya wanda kuma yake daga cikin waɗanda sun ka halarci taron yake sannu a hankali kwalliya za ta biya kuɗin sabulu saboda abu ne da an kare da shi duk wanda ya samu wannan horon ina She's a very important daga kasashen yamma saboda mamayar da ta yi wa Ukraine kuma kasashen su ɗauki mataki ne bayan
ingredient of eggnog.
Butterfat has just become incredibly expensive this year, and that's taken a toll on price. That said, not too price sensitive, so people are happy to pay the extra.
Even if they aren't happy, consumers are paying the current price of about $8 for a half gallon. In some places, that's up 80% from last year. I'm Bloomberg's Ann Mostu from the California Deluxe Windows Money Desk. KNX News 97.
Electric pump, and you turn on the water, and it was there just like you'd get in a commercial situation. But I called a plumber out one day, and he said, once a week, take a cup of bleach, pour it into your well to sanitize it. And that scared the living daylights out of me. I'm saying to myself, bleach is poison. What do you mean put a cup of bleach down your well once? But he said it kills the germs and it doesn't harm you because it mixes with all the water down there. What do you think of that?
Well, there are a couple of points to keep in mind. First of all, the question becomes, how easy is it for organisms to enter into that well? In other words, is the well covered? Is the well protected from the environment? Because all it takes is a bird flying by to leave a little package in your well.
Or ground seepage.
Or ground seepage is another example. You don't know nearby there could be animals that are, dropping their loads, and over time it soaks through the ground.
Or maybe the farmer down the road is using Roundup or something like that.
That's a possibility also. So again, it becomes important important knowing the amount of water to the amount of bleach that we're using, because we certainly don't want people to get overdosed on bleach.
No.
That's for sure.
Don't do this at home.
Right. So we definitely want to make sure that, say, for example, if you had a laboratory once a year, check, or you take a water sample just to see what's growing there would be a great way. And then you tell them, what the size of the water situation is, and they would tell you specifically how much bleach to use instead of using the old pour method, because I'm a little nervous when people take a gallon of bleach and they start pouring.
Yep.
Some people love it.
Exactly. What are your thoughts on the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration?
I think the FDA is being reorganized. A lot of things have been happening. I'm sure you've heard some of the information about the baby formula and
the shortage.
The shortage as a result of problems that exist in Italy that produces maybe 45% of the baby formula in America. So you would think that you would be watching.
There was contamination there or something?
Absolutely. It starts at the roof and works its way down. In any given situation, over time, the roofs start to lose their solid covering, and very easily the water could be seeping through the ceiling, through the roof. And then you have birds on top of it, you have mice on top of it.
Oh, God.
So you have all kinds of possibilities, and that's why it becomes really important to check on a regular basis, what's going on in the roof, because a lot of it starts at the roof.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. What would you say today, Jeff, is our biggest food safety problem and concern?
I would say that in California, for example, I hear a lot about rodents and vermin, and it's in all the big cities. So that seems to be like an ongoing issue that we always have to pay attention to, because they're looking for an opportunity to make a home. They're looking for an opportunity to eat and drink and have, and multiply.
Do they actually die in the facility and they get dumped in with the food source?
No, that's not likely to happen, because now a lot of the companies use the poison, in the bait stations, so that in the old days they would die in the walls, and then all of a sudden you'd have a terrible odor coming out of the walls, and that was the situation. Now with all the rules and regulations, they are very cautious about using chemicals and any ingredients that could cause the animal to die. So they're more in the trapping business than the actual, killing phase.
When the TV foods came out years ago, back in the 50s, I think, frozen dinners,
right?
People would buy them in droves, wouldn't they?
Oh, well, it was a new thing. It was exciting. I remember my father taking me to a restaurant, and not too long after that, and the big thing was they had a microwave oven on top of your table, and they brought the food over, and you would put the food in the microwave oven.
And just do it right in front of you.
Right.
That's crazy times. Jeffrey, we're going to take a quick break and come back and take phone calls with you. Food safety coach Jeff Nelkin with us. Call us about questions about food safety, your allergies, any kind of stories you want to share with us. Jump on board with that with Jeff Nelkin here on Coast to Coast AM. Here's our next emerging artist, which we highlight on the first Sunday of every month. And they're great, talented people. They really are. Here's the group called Amphibian from Church Point, Louisiana. The name of the song, the Bermuda Triangle. Sit back, listen in, and enjoy. And we've got more next hour on Coast to Coast AM for you.
To test the audio archives of Coast to Coast AM, log on to coasttocoastam.com.
Where all the souls, where did they go? Maybe time traveling, I'm afraid to know. I have a theory about Bermuda's Triangle. It's a twilight zone. I think that it is a game.
Radio, straight from the studio with U2's Bono.
I met Ali I started dating her the same week I joined U2 with David Evans, Now The Edge, Adam Clayton and Larry Mullen Jr. That is true. That was a great week for me. And these are all hugely important relationships to me still.
Check out Bono's new book, Surrender, 40 Songs, One Story, out now.
Getting proper nutrition can help adults and kids combat stress. It's important to keep regular meal times, including snack times for kids. Minimize refined carbohydrates, high fat, and high sugar foods, and reduce your alcohol intake. This Cal Hopeful Moment is brought to you by calhope.org. Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
Do you get excited to go to Walmart or Target or Costco? I ask like on a Saturday or a Sunday. I'll say to my wife and my daughter, I'm like, hey, you guys want to go to Walmart? And if they both say yes, I'm like on cloud nine, man. I can't wait to get there, see what's on the shelves.
The Tim Conway Jr. Show, weeknights at 6 on KFI.
It's just silent surveillance video footage of the vagrants. Oh, this guy, I'm watching a guy urinate. Oh, no, you can see the puddle at his feet. Almost every segment has an oh, no moment.
John and Ken, weekdays 2 to 6.
You'll start shouting at your screen.
On KFI.
That one I'm impressed with myself with. Sometimes I'm not. Most of the time I'm not. That, handle, you're damn good at this. I'm telling you, I'm speaking to myself now. Tell you, you know what? Let's take a break. I'll just keep on congratulating myself. Bill, you're just terrific. You're a great human being.
Bill Handel.
You're so smart.
Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
You can't teach people desire.
Some of us don't get great athletic genes. Some of us don't get great math abilities.
There are a lot of people who don't get desire ability. And they tend to drift towards what kind of jobs? Government work.
John and Ken. Weekdays 2 to 6 on KFI. Critical thinkers wanted.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
500 fewer guns on the street. I'm Mark Groner in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Nearly 500 guns have been turned in to cops during the 13th annual gun buyback event in L.A. The event yesterday resulted in an increase of 69% compared to the gun buyback hosted in March 2022. Those who turned in a gun got a $100 gift card. Supervisors in Orange County have extended a health emergency because of a respiratory illness that swamped a children's hospital.
They are exhausted and overwhelmed.
OC Health Officer Dr. Regina Tencio Kwong says RSV causes some kids to require constant pediatric supervision.
Our emergency departments are full and sometimes are housing patients who should be in an inpatient bed.
Shock Children's Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sandip Gadambi says emergency room visits are up 25% during an already record-breaking year.
We do not know what January and February will bring, traditionally our busiest months.
The health emergency continued yesterday, allows adult hospitals faster access to pediatric equipment and medication. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
What the New York Times is calling an extraordinarily anti-democratic statement from former President Trump has drawn a flood of condemnation from Democrats and a trickle from Republicans. On his Truth Social platform, Trump called for the termination of rules of the Constitution to overturn the 2020 election. White House spokesman Andrew Bates said in a statement, attacking the Constitution and all it stands for is anathema to the soul of our nation and should be universally condemned. Republican Representative-elect Mike Lawler of New York said he obviously doesn't support that. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said nothing, and his representatives didn't respond to media queries today. The world's largest volcano is still oozing lava and threatening a main highway.
The Mauna Loa volcano roared to life again in Hawaii a week ago. It's the first eruption of the world's largest active volcano in nearly 40 years, turning into a viewing hotspot and attracting large crowds. Geologists anticipate the slow-moving orange lava could reach the island's main highway this week. If the highway shuts down, it will impact traffic along with the transport of goods and services. Jane Yamamoto, KFI News.
And Southland weather from KFI, mostly cloudy tonight with a low around 53. Partly cloudy tomorrow with highs in the low to mid-60s most places, and a little cooler in the IE. We'll have upper 50s there. We're looking at low 60s all this coming week with a chance of rain again on Tuesday. Right now it's 57 in Marina Del Rey, 57 in Brea, 55 in Burbank, 47 in Palmdale. We lead local. From the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Mark Groner.
In Fontana, this is on the 210 westbound at Citrus Avenue. We have a crash there out of lanes and in the center divider, but you're seeing some looky-loo delays from Sierra Avenue. And in South LA, there's good news. Earlier crash on the 110 southbound at 51st Street. Well, it's been cleared from lanes, but the damage is done. You're still seeing delays from Exposition. And in Los Alamitos, this is on the 605 southbound at Willow. Cleanup crews from an earlier crash out of lanes and on the right shoulder. KFI, the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Brian Vance.
If you run a business, we know how confusing it can be to evaluate all the different advertising options. And at iHeart, we're here to help. We're America's #1 audio company, #1 in radio, #1 in podcasting, digital radio, and much more. With all those insights and all those potential customers, we can help you find new and more efficient ways to grow your business. So reach out, let's chat, and learn more about how we can help your business find new growth. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Wondering if you should get the updated COVID-19 booster? Here are 3 reasons why you should. 1. Vaccines and boosters provide better protection from COVID-19. 2. Even if you've had COVID-19 before, boosters are recommended to keep your immunity strong, especially as new variants emerge. And 3. Your risk of getting very sick from COVID-19 goes up with age, and boosters can help lower the chance of hospitalization and death. Find a booster near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Having repairs done in your apartment should never come with strings attached, like being harassed and constantly pressured for sexual favors.
My landlord told me my rent would be free if I gave him something in exchange.
The Fair Housing Act protects you from harassment by anyone associated with your housing, including someone making unwelcome sexual advances. If this happens to you, file a complaint with HUD. No strings attached. To learn more, visit HUD.gov/fairhousing. If you fear for your safety, call 911. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
What's the best product I bought this year? Oh, that's easy. Salonpas pain-relieving patches. The proven medicines in Salonpas patches reduce my pain and let me do the things I need to do every day.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salonpas reported improved sleep, mood, and the ability to work. They had less pain and were able to reduce their use of oral pain medications.
For pain, I use Salonpas. It's good medicine.
KFI AM 640. KFI AM 640. KFI live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
That kind of an argument is what's so frustrating about Washington, D.C. today.
Well, they did it, so we should be able.
That's not the way it should work.
That's not what you would say to your own kids.
And sometimes you have to treat these 535 members of Congress like children because they don't understand the stupidity of an argument like that.
Gary and Shannon.
Well, they did it.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI.
Let's move over to the wars of the future. All right, the post-apocalyptic, the post after the place falls apart.
Bill Handel.
I'll get there. I get paid to do this.
Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
The tweet coverage is about 50% of the Trump coverage. He's created it then because of his tweets. He loves the attention, even if it's negative. That's why he's a crazy person. Cover it. You don't have to pretend that never had a president do this before, so they have to cover it. We never had these. We didn't used to have cable. You're asking for the impossible.
John and Ken, weekdays 2 to 6 on KFI.
American Vision Windows, SoCal's choice for energy-efficient windows and doors. AmericanVisionWindows.com.
KFI, AM 640. More stimulating talk.
She said she heard it all before. A catalog of promises that disappeared. She'd been let down so many times and didn't want the pain no more. She could not see that the remedy was standing by her door. Love near and yet so far. 'Cause she was looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love, destined to lose the truth.
But is nothing at all. Now, part of me is like, well, Matt Ryan's really making Frank Reich look like a member of Mensa. The excommunicated coach in Indianapolis, Frank Reich there. Remember, it was Reich who was credited with benching Ryan, although we believe, and we said this on these airwaves, that we believe the benching took place at the behest of Jim Irsay. Nevertheless, Matt Ryan, how would you describe Matt Ryan? He's the Oprah Winfrey of quarterbacks. You get an interception, you get a turnover, you get an interception, everybody! Whee! Not one, not two, 3 interceptions, and a fumble, and a partridge in a pear tree. A one-man...
This hour we'll take your calls with food safety coach Jeff Nelkin. Stories, questions, you name it, we've got it. With you next on Coast to Coast AM. This year, escape from holiday stress and get the sleep you need with Casper's best offer ever. Right now, save up to $800 on our supportive cozy mattresses like the original hybrid, our highest rated mattress, and our Wave Hybrid snow mattress that helps you sleep sick.
The buzz was, well, Falcons didn't have a lot of talent. The Colts were a better team. Ryan would be great. Watch out.
Your blessed is beautiful. If there's anything better than being beautiful.
Counting his 401k, and we can bet on the defense. George Kittle cannot. That is what Matty Ice does.
Nick Foles isn't exactly the solution, but now,
Password. So we go over to the winning side, the Cowboys side of things, because I know we'll be bombarded with Dallas Cowboy apologists.
Heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a 6-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 1-800-506-2020. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. So don't delay, call right now, 1-800-506-2020. That's 1-800-506-2020, 1-800-506-2020.
And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie along with food safety coach Jeff Nelkin, and we'll take your calls this hour. Truly remarkable. Jeff, of everything you've covered in your career, what would you say is one of the strangest stories you've encountered?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I've been involved in some investigations, for example, in restaurants, and I find interesting that one of the strange things is that the chemicals that are used in the restaurants, even though they come from some of the biggest names in the country, have never been validated. In other words, where they actually see how people are using them and actually what we call swabbing, where you swab a surface after you've cleaned something to see how effective they did the job. And that's very rarely done in the restaurant world.
Whenever I used to cut up chicken on a wooden cutting board, I would always use bleach after that. Does that work?
Well, it helps because the cutting board, first of all, the surface of the cutting board, and wooden cutting boards seem to be very porous. So that's why the recommendation has always been towards using a plastic
one, yeah,
style, and then also using a specific color for, let's say, raw chicken versus produce, because in the old days they used to use one cutting board. First they'd be cutting up chicken, and then they would be cutting up lettuce and tomatoes, and they wouldn't wipe down the cutting board. So today we basically use colored cutting boards for, different groups of foods that are being prepared.
How long does it take for contamination to kick in? For example, you use that cutting board to cut the chicken, and let's say you don't wash it, you just put it back. How long does it take for something to pop up on that?
Well, once it's there, if you were to send it to a lab, you could see the results very quickly. So it now becomes not a question of time, because time will again multiply the bacteria, and especially at the temperatures we have in the kitchens. So time is one of our enemies in the kitchen.
Does bacteria ever die off on its own?
Well, it's possible that it could die off on its own. Not likely to die off on its own. There usually have to be variables involved. They're looking for food. They're looking for oxygen. So it's a question of finding the ingredients to keep them alive.
Let's take some calls, Jeffrey. They're rolling in here for you. Cheryl in Burbank, California, to get us started on the wild card line. Hello, Cheryl.
Yes. Hi, George. Yes, I'm calling up to say that I purchased 2 cakes at Whole Foods back in March, and these cakes were found in the area that has like a cooler, so everything there at that end cap was cold, and we got really sick. And I don't know which cake it was, but I think it was the one that probably had condensed milk in it. So there's that. And then at that same store for months, what I'm going to talk about, years, actually, in their meat department, you could actually smell, it smells like rot, even like 2 aisles before. And once you go towards like those double doors where they have like the clearance area right next to the meat department, it smells horrible. And I called them and I told them about that, and they said that they're going to clean it out. And someone said it's because they have old pipes that have not been cleaned. So there's that. One time at Yvonne's, they had a pallet. This was during the summertime too, and it was like right around noon, probably about 11 o'clock, like in the morning. They had a huge pallet outside in front of their store.
ایران 670
And his quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo suffered a broken left foot and will miss the rest of the season. With more sports, here's KCBS's.
The company was able to talk Eddie Garcia out of retirement.
And of course, she passed away in September, which leaves us to number 2 and 1, and they are pretty much tied. Anybody care to guess? Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Yes, they are tied for 1 and 2 on that list. Amber Heard's net worth is about $2.5 million, and she now has to pay Johnny Depp $15 million. So you could say she's going to be forever in debt. All right, home should be where you and your family feel safest, especially over the holidays. This season, give yourself and the family the gift of peace and protection with the #1 rated home security system. That's SimpliSafe. And right now, SimpliSafe is offering 40% off a new security system. And in an emergency, listen to this, 24/7 professional monitoring agents. They use Fast Protect technology to capture critical evidence and verify that the threat is real, so you get priority police response. And SimpliSafe is whole home security, advanced sensors for every room, window, and door. And you get that 27 professional monitoring, costs under $1 a day. That's less than half the price of ADT. With this top-rated SimpliSafe app, stay in complete control of your system anytime, anywhere. You can arm or disarm, unlock your house for a guest, or access the cameras. So don't miss your chance for massive savings. If you live alone, you don't need to live in fear. Get 40% off any new system at SimpliSafeKim.com. That's SimpliSafeKim.com, because there's no safe like SimpliSafe. All right, coming up, we have 5 clues that your email has been hacked, and we're going to start with all of your phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. With the countless threats on the internet, from phishing sites to password-stealing malware, you might think that the more security you have, the better. And while different programs can serve their purpose, you should only be using one antivirus program. Instead of trying to stack antivirus programs, pick one powerhouse for all your needs. I recommend Total AV's industry-leading security suite. It's easy to use and offers the best protection in the business. In fact, it's received the renowned VB100 award for detecting more than 99% of malware samples for the last 3 years in a row. Cover up to 5 of your devices, whether they're running Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android, all under a single plan. And I've negotiated an exclusive introductory discount just for you. Right now, get the first year of Total AV for only $19. at protectwithkim.com. That's over 85% off the regular price. Head to protectwithkim.com today. Protectwithkim.com, protectwithkim.com.
Spoiled supermarket meat, sawdust like fillers, artificial preservatives?
Hold on there. I'm veterinarian Dr. Marty Goldstein. You don't want your dog eating any of that. These potentially harmful ingredients are found in many of today's popular dog foods, but not in Nature's Blend, a freeze-dried raw dog food with real cuts of meat, omega-3 rich seeds, and superfood veggies and fruit.
Nature's Blend is designed to help support your dog's playfulness, healthy skin, soft coat, easy digestion, and youthful mobility.
Your dog will go bonkers over Nature's Blend's savory flavor and texture.
For a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and receive a free festive holiday dog sweater with select orders. Go to drmartypets.com/Kim or text Kim to 511-5.
And they're open to both accredited and non-accredited investors. I'm going to give you the website for this in a second. Now, keep in mind that an investment in bonds has a certain amount of risk associated with it, and you should only invest if you can afford to bear the risk of loss. Before making investment decisions, you should carefully consider and review all risks involved. This investment has been audited and filed with the SEC. Now, that website address, investingwithphx.com. One more time, investingwithphx.com. If you're in the car, call this number, 323-PHOENIX. That's 323-PHOENIX.
When you work in the kitchen, what you cook often ends up on your clothes. I used to add a little extra bargain detergent on all my stains. But then I realized, is it really a bargain if I have to use more? Now I use Tide Simply. One cap is all you need to deal with tough stains and odors. Best of all, it works on a line cook's budget too. And just like this line cook, Tide Simply gets the job done. Table 10 up.
Tide Simply. Tough on stains, easy on your wallet.
Craftsman Days at Lowe's are going on now. Get limited time savings across the store like $100 off a V20 6-tool combo kit. Plus, enter the Craftsman Days Ultimate Garage Sweepstakes for a chance to win Craftsman products valued at over $10,000. Learn more at Lowe's.com/Ultimate Garage. Offer valid through 12/31 while supplies last. No purchase necessary. Ends 12/31. Residents of 50 USDC, 18 or older in age or majority and have a Lowe's.com account. Void where prohibited. See rules at Lowe's.com/Ultimate Garage for entry instructions, odd prices, etc. Sponsor Lowe's.
How wrestling really works and how you get the ratings. Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson explain.
They have kids that are 9 and 12 years old, and they don't have their own devices, but they're using a smart TV and a Fire Stick at home. And I'd like to be able to monitor not just how much time they're spending on there, but to monitor their content and to try to prevent anything nefarious from getting through. And I was wondering what recommendations you may have about that.
Olga, first of all, congratulations. 9 and 12 without a smartphone? You go, girl. I don't know how you did it, but you got it going on.
Just say no.
Just say no. That's all it is. Just say no. But do they whine?
Not really. They're used to it.
They're like, gosh, Mom, please. All my friends have a phone. Why can't I? Since you mentioned the TV, parental controls are built into the TV, right? And they're in the settings menu. And Fire, you can also restrict that using the Amazon app. The thing is that if you are truly trying to control the content inside your home, then you have to control it on the router level, right? Makes sense. Anything that comes in, we're going to control it there. And so you have a couple of options there. Disney has something called Meet Circle, which is fabulous. It's great. It works on also on the router level, and then it gives you the reward system too, so that this way you could say, you did your chores, you got 100%, you went outside and you got some exercise, whatever it may be, and then you can give them some points. There's something that may be a little bit more robust, but if they're not on a device yet, I wouldn't necessarily worry about it. There's a brand by the name of Gryphon, and they have a whole router solution, but it's a whole mesh network solution. So if you needed a new router and the Wi-Fi is crappy at your house and the kids have phones and you really want to lock them down, that's probably what I would recommend. But don't forget, you have it on the TV too, and you have it on you have it on the Fire Stick. So maybe if you start doing that. Now, one of the things that I will warn you about is that I'm sure you know this, and I'm just throwing it out there, is that, you know, the kids that were locked down the most are the ones that go crazy when they finally get something. So, you know, it's like the kids that go to college and they're the ones that are drunk all the time, you know. So you might want to think about getting like a family tablet, okay? And so that this way on the family iPad that you could give it to them from time to time to play a game and to do something fun, something so they don't feel like, oh gosh, I can't wait till mom's not in the room and then I can use my friend's device or whatever it may be. Just throwing it out there, Olga. You know, I get it, but you just don't want to have those, you know, you don't want to have that down the road. And thank you so much for your call. Hey, just a reminder, we have that Kids Tech contract you don't want to ever forget to use with all the little cherubs in your life. It's over at commando.com/contract. And back to the phones we go with Richard in Lexington, Kentucky.
Hi, Kim. Thank you for taking my call. I am wanting to scan in a bunch of old photos. My mother was one of 9 from eastern Kentucky, and she has a bunch of photos that I inherited over time from her brothers and sisters, and we're trying to put together a little bit of a genealogical puzzle. I have a half-brother who was adopted 5 years before me and has a different father. We're trying to track him down. I'm trying to track information on my father that I've never met. And also, my wife and I are kids from the 80s, so we have a bunch of photos on various things, so all kinds of negatives. And we look good in the 80s with our big hair, and so we want to, you know, put some of those up with our family and friends and share them. And, you know, we look younger, of course, so we like that as well.
Wow, so you got a lot going on. You just spat out in the last 40 or 5 seconds like 5 or 6 different stories that I would love to hear more about.
Yes, it's been
have you done any of the Have you done any of the genealogically, like the DNA type of tests?
I did do Ancestry, and my half-brother did the other one. So not much has popped there. Some older, you know, grandparents. Mm-hmm. But, you know, when my mom went through the adoption, you know, process, she put information out there on a basic level, but nothing specific. So this actually came about as a mistake by a judge released these records that he wasn't supposed to release. She wanted it secret. But it's been a great thing. I shared it with her before she passed, and I said, I think this is the most amazing thing you've ever done, and I'm so proud of you. And it chokes me up, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? It's because you love. That's why you're hurting, because you love. If you didn't love and you didn't care, you wouldn't hurt. So I'm proud of you. I am. We're going through all that, and now you want to share more stories, which is even fabulous, and that's why I'm here to help you. So when we start talking about slides and negatives and photos, is that there's always the easy way and the not so easy way. But the easy way is for you to box them all up and send them off to someplace like Legacy Box or iMemories, and then they will digitize for you. They'll put them on DVDs or CDs or just put them up in the cloud, which is my preference, and then mail you all the materials back. But it does cost money, Richard, right? It does.
Yes.
So the other option is for you to do it the old DIY way. And the DIY way is that you're going to purchase a relatively inexpensive film and slide scanner. And it also does negatives and those old 35 millimeter slides. I don't know if you have any of those laying around, Richard, but those were always fun to deal with too. For those people who don't know what 35 millimeter slides are, it was when Richard and I would walk over train tracks in the middle of the snow and coal we would take back to our house. It was, well, maybe not quite those days, right, Richard? Not that cool.
No, not that far back.
Also, we had, do you ever have any cassette tapes, Richard?
Kim, I have them now. I worked in a record store. I saved everything. I have an old 2008 car, and it has a cassette player in it, so I'm living in the 80s.
Living the dream, baby. Living the dream. Got those mixtapes going on. You know, not too long ago, I was in the studio, and his name's Frankie, and he's about 23 years old, and we were talking about mixtapes, and finally he looked at me and goes, "What's a mixtape?" I'm like, oh, okay. Think of it as like a playlist. You know, but you can only have 8 songs. That was it. All right, so what you're going to buy yourself is for about $136. We're going to shoot you the link, Richard. A Kodak slide and scan film and slide scanner. It's got a beautiful, large 5-inch color LCD screen. It's going to take you some time. So this isn't one of these... if you want it for next Christmas, it sounds like you have everything. Not this Christmas, next Christmas. You're going to start now, okay? Because it is a process. And as far as storing all these photos, and Google Photos is always the best. Seems like lately, because it can give you the ability to share all the photos. People can comment on the photos. And then, of course, a private Facebook group is always fun to share all these photos with, too. So, Richard, hang on the line. We're going to send you that link to the Kodak scanner. And for those of you who are looking for it, we'll post the link over at commando.com. Hey, as you're traveling about this holiday season, don't forget about Google's photo scan. And if you ever see photos on a wall inside picture frames, you can always just snap it. Does a terrific job. Let's talk about StartMail. Say goodbye to big tech email providers for good. StartMail keeps your email safe and secure. No reading, scanning, or analyzing of your email. No ads, no tracking, no profiles. Here's the deal. You can get 40% off your StartMail account today by going to startmail.com/Kim. That's startmail.com/Kim. Stay right where you are. More of the show's coming up.
America's biggest weekend radio show about all things digital. America's digital goddess, Kim Kamengo.
Could you afford to spend thousands on an auto repair bill today? Protect your vehicle and your wallet from expensive repairs and switch to America's #1 auto protection company, CarShield. They've already helped over 1 million drivers. Just listen to this happy CarShield customer.
I became a CarShield customer because my warranty was set to expire. I knew I had to have coverage on my vehicle, so I called CarShield.
When you're covered by CarShield's administrators, you won't get stuck with another high repair bill. Their protection plans cover engine, transmission, even computer system repairs, and so much more. Whether your car has 5,000 miles or 150,000 miles, CarShield has protection plans for everyone.
The reason why you should get CarShield is because it's going to cover your vehicle. You won't have to worry about expensive repairs. The deductibles are low, and the repairs are guaranteed.
See why CarShield cars go farther. Go to carshield.com and use code KIM to save 10%. That's carshield.com, code KIM to save 10%. Carshield.com, code KIM.
AM 790.
Hey, ABC News, I'm Ken Jeffries with this news update. Georgia's closely watched Senate race is in its final stages. Recent polling shows Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock has a narrow lead over Republican challenger Herschel Walker ahead of Tuesday's runoff. Iran's Attorney General is suggesting that the country's controversial morality police could be abolished. He was quoted by local media that the morality police has nothing to do with the judiciary. The official's comments come as protests continue to rock Iran following the death of a 22-year-old female activist who died in police custody in September after refusing to wear a headscarf. KABC SoCal weather. Mostly cloudy overnight, lows in the 50s. Partly cloudy tomorrow, highs around 60. Right now, 59 in Van Nuys, 62 in Santa Ana, 60 in downtown L.A. For news on demand, check out KABC.com with stories picked just for you that are honest and give context and that you'll want to share with like-minded friends. Try it now, KABC.com.
Just because your workday ends doesn't mean ours does. KABC has big shows on your ride home with the Leo 2.0 live at 5 and the all-new Motec on Money at 6 on AM 790 KABC.
Hi there, I'm your host, Dog, filling in for the human who's normally here and bringing you the smells and sounds of the holidays, courtesy of Beggin' Dog Treats.
We wish you a begging Christmas. We wish you a begging Christmas. Dog rest ye merry Dobermen, let begging you acquire. Deck the halls with strips of begging.
Remember, for bacon-loving dog excitement this holiday, it's beggin'!
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Steve is intrigued by the paranormal.
Otherworldly spirits really make a house a home, you know?
Janice has different taste.
I'd like my house to not be haunted.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Steve and Janice found a renovated Victorian that's only haunted from 9 to 5.
Okay, wife's home. I gotta bounce.
Bundling with without compromise at geico.com.
Ever wonder what the deal is with water filtration systems, what they combat, how they help? Tune in every Sunday at 10 a.m. to hear me, Randy, and my buddy Brad from Pro Water Solutions. He knows everything H2O. Sundays at 10 a.m. right here on 790 KABC.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
AM 790 KABC. AM 790 KABC. If this statement rings true to you,
until we run George Gascon out of town on a rail, dress down a little bit.
You've come to the right place. Fast-paced, facts-based. AM 790 KABC.
This portion of the show has been brought to you by RoboForm. If you're tired of writing down passwords, you don't have to do that anymore. That's so old school. RoboForm Password Manager makes life easier and more secure by logging you into websites with just one click. How nifty is that? And you can get 50% off right now at roboform.com/Kim. That's roboform.com/Kim. All right, coming up in just a few minutes, we've got some travel tips, some tech travel tips, and also some clues that your email has been hacked. And right now, joining us here on the Kim Komando Show and Kim Komando today is our amazing content queen, Allie Seligman. Hello there, Allie.
Hi, Kim.
So how are you all done with your Christmas shopping?
Oh, no, not even close. Are you?
No.
Okay. I was worried that I was the only one behind.
But I will tell you what I've got Barry. Okay, because he has a brand new bar in the new house.
Okay.
So I got him a robotic bartender, so he can put in his gin and tonic and stuff, and then this cup goes up and it and it makes a drink and goes on a little conveyor belt. And so I showed it to him and I said, because Ian's 21.
Yeah.
So I couched it like this. I said, so, if I buy this for Ian, am I being a bad mother promoting alcoholism to a guy in college? Or do you just think it's a great idea? And he looked at me and he goes, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Oh.
And I already ordered it. So,
you know what? Once it makes him his first gin and tonic, he'll think different.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he will.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, if you are listening, I bet that you might be one of the people you might be the person that everyone in your life comes to you and says, can you help me fix my computer, my phone?
So annoying.
This is going wrong.
Annoying.
This is going wrong. Yeah. And, everybody's going to be with their families for the holidays. And so it's probably the time when you're going to get even more of that. Can you fix this? Can you fix that? And I say this year, instead of being annoyed by it, you go a step further and you do a little bit to help out your relatives, the people who aren't as tech savvy, because then there's going to be less they have to bother you for in the coming year. So it's really a gift for everyone.
That's right. It's like a preemptive strike.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought we could go over a few simple things you can do to make everyone's lives easier. Okay, first, the perennial favorite, Wi-Fi problems. We get so many emails, right? You get this all the time, Kim. My Wi-Fi's spotty. It's slow. What do I do? Okay, first, you're going to start with updating their router. They've probably never done it if they're not very tech savvy. Yeah, so that's important. And if it's really old, it might be time to upgrade the router because that can be a big reason why the Wi-Fi isn't very good. if you were thinking, I don't even know how to pick my own router, how am I going to pick one for my parents or my grandparents or whatever? Lucky you, we have a router finder quiz on Commander.com that makes it really easy. You just have to answer a few questions. How big is the house? How many devices? All that fun stuff. If the router isn't that old, check where it is. If it's hidden on, the floor of a closet, it's not doing any favors for their signal.
Yeah, dust bunnies. It's hot.
Yes.
It's just a bad thing. It is.
Yeah, so you're going to want to get it higher up in a central area of the house where, most of the activity is happening. Don't put it next to the microwave, or if they have cordless phones, those are known to cause a lot of interference. Okay, another boring but necessary, updates. If they don't update their phone, if they don't update their computer, things are not going to be good. So go through, check that those things are up to date. Yeah, you should ask them first. You're going to talk to them about this, right? Hey, let's do a little tune-up on your tech. So it's not like you're just taking their phone.
You know what? Just when you started talking about that, I started thinking, you know what? I would not even approach any of this unless I had at least one glass of wine. I mean, just because it's not going to be fun.
It won't be fun. But luckily, most of this stuff goes pretty fast. One that is a little tricky, if they tell you, hey, my phone is being weird. My computer's being weird. And usually that's how people say it, right? There's just something off, and they're not really sure what it is. It could be a lot of things. It could be that they clicked a weird link. It could be that they downloaded an app that has, some kind of malware in it. It could be any kind of wear. Luckily, on a phone, it's pretty easy. A good old-fashioned factory reset will get most of the junk out of there. So that is an option. Make sure you back up the phone first so that they don't lose any of their photos, their text, all that kind of stuff. If it's a computer, that's a little bit more difficult. We do have steps over on Commander.com to get malware off of a computer. I do have an idea, though, if you are thinking, I can't take that on myself, in a little bit.
Yeah, that's something where that is so frustrating.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, we've all been there. And then sometimes when you go to update something, it breaks something else.
Of course.
or they say, you know what, I don't like what happened because I used to have a button that did that.
Mm-hmm.
And you did that, and now the button's gone. or you updated and my font is now a different size. And, it's hard. This is really a difficult task. But it's a difficult ask, but we could do it, right?
I think we can.
We do it.
Okay, here's one that is going to make anybody in your life who has ignored this really happy. Help them check what subscriptions they're paying for on their phone. Because it's so easy to sign up for these, it's $2, it's $5, whatever. Sometimes it's $10. And you don't realize month after month that money is coming out of your account. It's actually really easy to check this on an iPhone and an Android. You can see it all in one place as a list, what exactly you're paying for. So help them find this list and show them, hey, why are you spending $20 on apps?
All right, now, this is so ironic that you were talking about this right now, because I did not know you were going to mention this. I got an email this morning from a guy who went on his dad's phone.
Yeah.
Okay, and was looking around because his father said that it was acting weird. So he went into the subscriptions and he found that his 80-year-old dad has subscribed to 3 porno sites.
Oh, no.
Okay, so his question to me was, do I just remove them? Okay, or do I say, hey, Dad, you're 80, and I get that, and I'm sure it's okay with you, but do you need 3?
Have the world's most awkward conversation with his dad, yeah.
So what would you do?
Oh, I would get rid of them because he's never going to say anything to you. He's never going to say anything to you about it. And it could be sometimes these apps do have malicious code in them that then downloads other things. So in all likelihood, yeah, Dad signed up for these. But no, he doesn't need 3. He'll just go back and subscribe to the one he likes best.
Or you could or tell Dad where the free one is. Okay, we all know where it is. Okay, so just go to the free one.
Merry Christmas, Dad. Okay, and finally on my list, setting up new devices. I am a firm believer that if you are giving a tech gift to someone, especially if they're not very tech savvy, it is not complete unless you help them set it up. I know from experience, I bought my dad a nice Bluetooth speaker, and then weeks and weeks later, saw it sitting on the kitchen table because he just didn't know how to set it up, so I did it for him. So this is my, nice tip for you and your family. If you give tech, help them set it up. Now, what if you're far away? and you can't help them. That is where the shameless plug comes in. Okay, I'm sure you've heard Kim talk about Get Kim's Help. Now, this is a place where you can go. If you search tech support or tell your family, oh yeah, just Google how to do it. No, they're going to end up either on a weird website. They're going to end up following instructions that they just don't know how to do. So give them the gift of someone who can actually walk them through the process and set something up for them. You know, it's reliable. You're not going to end up with something weird on your computer that's going to be watching them all the time. Just one time, they'll help them figure out what it is. And they'll even do device setup. I asked them, hey, would you guys help, set up an Echo? Maybe help people set up routines? Yeah, absolutely, we can do that. So they can go as far as you want them to go. It's really great. And most issues, they fix in about 10 minutes. And if they don't fix it, the best part is you don't have to pay anything. So it's great.
And these are patient people.
Yeah.
These are great guys and gals, by the way. And so if you don't want to fix your parents' computer and you don't want to go there to do any of this, you don't want to have that awkward conversation with your dad about 3 porno sites that he's subscribed to, just send them to getkimshelp.com. Once again, that's getkimshelp.com. So, Allie, are you going to put all this on the website?
I am going to put it on the site. We also have, so this weekend for your tech tip, Kim, you actually wrote about a few things that you can do on your own phone or someone else's phone to give it a little tune-up. They're not going to be as in-depth as some of these. They're going to be things that you can just knock out really quick, making sure that they have emergency contact set up, their health app, all that kind of stuff. So check out the website. We'll give you some good things to do, and your family will be very thankful.
And, Allie, as always, you are truly our amazing content queen, and I'm so proud of you because I'll tell you, you're doing just really fantastic job on air, on site, in the newsletters, and all of the traffic indicators are all saying what a truly amazing person you are, and I appreciate you, so I wanted to let you know.
Thank you, Kim.
All right, let's go ahead and do a great tip. And this week is brought to you by iDrive. It's the time of year when families and friends get together, share memories, and capture new ones. From holiday parties with coworkers to family dinners, there's plenty of opportunities to cherish those moments. Now, don't forget to keep those memories safe. We depend on our devices, and when tech fails, we risk losing it all. Just remember, if it can't be replaced, it needs to be backed up. Now, for that, I recommend iDrive's award-winning safe and secure cloud backup. It's affordable and includes generous backup space. You can back up all your devices, your PCs, your Macs, your servers, your smartphones, and more, all into one account. With iDrive's industry-standard encryption, state-of-the-art security, you can rest assured that your data is completely safe. Plus, automate backups and never worry about not losing access to important data or running out of space. Plans start at less than $7 a month. When you use code KIM at checkout, you'll get 90% off of the first year. Head over to iDrive.com, use my name, Kim. That's iDrive.com, promo code KIM. All right, let's talk about clues that your email has been hacked. I actually sent this off to my friend Anita this morning because her email was hacked by somebody in India. So what you want to do is, number one, is you want to look at your sent and draft folders for any emails that you didn't write or send and see if there's something in there. Number two, you might get some notifications that you changed a password. Again, somebody could be in there. And then look at your emails on your inbox. Do they show red? You've never even looked at them? That's another red flag. Look in the trash for any emails that you might not have put there. And then finally, most email services will let you see exactly where you logged in, when, and what day. And we have the list and links that you might need over at commando.com. Just hit commando.com, and then there's a link that says Kim Show. All right, still to come, we have some terrific tech travel tips that you don't want to miss. And, of course, we have more of your great phone calls here on the Kim Commando Show. What do you do when something just doesn't work? You Google it. Too often, that's a complete waste of time. You need someone to hold your hand. Maybe you're lucky enough to have someone to call for help or come over. But let's face it, they're too busy for you. Finding tech support online is risky. That's why I partner with top tech experts to give you 24/7 live support that you can trust. They'll fix your problems or there's no charge. I'm so proud to tell you about GetKimsHelp.com. Whether it's a problem with your Wi-Fi, printer, smartphone, computer, TV, smart speaker.
But no one knows that they ever served, and they don't necessarily recognize themselves for it. So it's to know who the veteran is, number one. educate the veteran and their family about opportunities that they have to improve their
transition. Veterans come equipped with a strong
Chapter 14. As therefore the tares are gathered, us the parable of the tares that are in the field. Now, verse 40. As therefore the tares are gathered and cast in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. Ladies and gentlemen, how many times do you hear anybody discussing the gathering of the tares, which Jesus said would be and take place before he gathers the wheat? Oh, yes, he does. See, they're trying to tell us that David was going to gather the wheat first, then gather the tares and burn them. The devil's always trying to make a liar out of Jesus Christ. Look again. Matthew 13, verse 30. Let's both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest, always think of the reaper, the angel. You gather together. Look at it. You gather first the tares. You gather the tares. You gather them into bundles. And the reason why I want you to do that is so we can clearly identify them and burn them. I submit to you, my friends, that we have just about concluded the first part of the harvest of man to the end of the world. The tares. They look like Christians. They pass that Christians. They pass the third-passing Christians. They are more numerous. They look, talk, act, think. The only thing they don't do is they don't produce fruit on the Holy Ghost. They don't live holy. They don't obey God's commandments. They don't honor His word. They don't do those things that are pleasing in His sight. They have no fruit. And they are clearly identified today. They have been gathered by the ministry, by the angelic ministry, by the anointed, raised up by God for that purpose. You want me to tell you who a tare gatherer is? Dennis Copeland, John Paul, Pat Robinson, Ernest Anderson, Robert Schuler, Norman Vincent Peale, Wellington Bishop, the General Superintendent of the Bunches Office, the Fenwood Branch, the Baptist, Billy Graham. Yeah, they have done a good job. They have gathered their bundles, and they have put a little string around them. They put a name on top of every one of them, and they're easy to identify. Ellen G. White, Seventh-day Adventist. Herbert W. Armstrong, Worldwide Church of God. Wait, I can't know them all. They have been gathered into bondage. You can't see them? In every city, every town, every country, every nation, you'll find them. Methodist Church, Baptist Church, the Anglican Church, Roman Catholic Church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the Apostolic Trinitarian Church, on and on, the Seventh-day Church, on and on you go, as they do a good job identifying their bundle. They'd like you to join them. They'd like you to become part of it. Yes, my friend. we have witnessed conclusively and completely and almost 100% fulfilled the gathering of the front row, set off to the side, no truth unto righteousness, no unity, no perfection, no holiness, no honoring God, no submitting themselves to His perfect will, no proof. They've been gathered to be burned. That burning's going to take place during the tribulation. Ah, yes. As God deals with all men with fire. And fire purifies. Verse 40. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. What's He going to do? The Son of Man shall send forth His angels. They shall gather out of His kingdom, the kingdom that is being established on earth, all things that offend. What is foolishness? Look around so-called Christian church. They are full of sin, full of it. God's not for a people walking in sin and rebellion and ungodliness. He's going to cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing
and now I can say it because they are now my enemy. They declared this, not me. But when they go around calling everybody, oh, this one's a fascist and so on. You know who the fascists are? Scratch a liberal and you will find a fascist every time.
And he goes on to say, I'm coming for you. I'm going to get you. I know Owen's going to play the full clip and Glenn Greenwald clip when he hosts 6 to 8 tonight. So much that we can't get to here is going to be on Sunday Live, 6 to 8 p.m. hosted by Owen Schroyer tonight. So we'll make sure the full clip is played. And this very powerful Glenn Greenwald breaks down really what's going on with all of this coming up. Let's play one more clip here because I mentioned this and I said I'd get to it. You know, we'll get to this next hour because nobody's picked this up. It's on Infowars.com. It's the only place. Elon Musk saying he wanted to punch Ye for what he was saying and doing, but then admitting that I tried to rein him in. But he still has his free speech. So, Elon, you got to be an absolutist here. That's all coming up next hour. Royce White knocked it out of the park with his Ye breakdown and said if Ye is so bad for saying he likes Hitler as a provocative statement, well, then what about the U.S. government bringing tens of thousands of Nazis in under Operation Paperclip to run all the major agencies? I mean, let's talk about what's really going on here. It's not that this is a Nazi-run system. The globalists had created the Nazis. So you're going to get the big secrets next hour they don't want you to know. Now, let me say this. We have incredible products, the very best supplements on the market. Just like our information is game-changing and changes the world, these are the highest quality, highest rated you're going to get, and they keep us on air. So we've got up to 60% off with promo code 1776. And I'm going to keep that going till the products sell out. More coming in a few months. But we're running out of a bunch of them. X2, X3, BioTrue Selenium, Wake Up America Coffee, they've all sold out. And what's about to sell out is Immune Support, Brain Force Plus, Knockout Sleep Support, Alpha Power, VasoBeat Complete, Body's Ultimate Turmeric Formula, Vitamin Mineral Fusion, DNA Force Plus, Vitamin D3 Gummies with Zinc, Whole Food Multivitamin, Vitamin C with Zinc, super high quality organic, 1100% daily allowance, Brain Force Ultra, Super Male and Female Vitality, Ultimate Krill, Ultimate Fish Oil, Immune Support, Fizzy Magnesium, and more. We need the funds to operate, plus your immune system and your overall body and your health needs these. These are game-changing products, and we're finally able to bring back, we've got a lot better shipping deal, free shipping on orders of $50 or more, and up to half off on the regular, small orders. Shipping rates have gone way down, an added big bonus. InfoWarsStore.com. You need DNA Force Plus is what's going on. You need Vitamin Mineral Fusion. You need Body's Ultimate Turmeric Formula. The leading turmeric formulas do great things for your joints, your immune system, your health, inflammation, anti-cancer, all of it. They're like 5% curcuminoid. Ours is a concentrate, 95%. It's selling out, but still massively discounted and free shipping at InfoWarsStore.com. Hour number 2, jam-packed, must-hear, straight ahead. Christmas 2022 is almost here, and we have great products at InfoWarsStore.com that empower your body, your libido, your immune system, that just enrich your life. So whether it's Vitamin Mineral Fusion or DNA Force Plus or Body's Ultimate Turmeric Formula, they're all still in stock, discounted up to 60% with promo code 1776. And now, finally, we have brought back free shipping at InfoWarsStore.com on orders of $50 or more, and big discounts on the regular shipping as well. Plus, the book, The Great Reset and the War for the World, signed or unsigned, it's also available with free shipping at InfoWarsStore.com. So again, that's free shipping on all orders $50 or more at InfoWarsStore.com, and up to 60% off at checkout with promo code 1776. And we've got the signed and unsigned copies of the Great Reset, War for the World book as well, which make perfect stocking stuffers. Don't wait, take action at InfoWarsStore.com today.
I'm Dr. Peter McCullough, and it's an absolute pleasure to introduce to you the Wellness Company, an alternative healthcare system for this COVID and post-COVID world where trust has been lost in doctors and healthcare systems. This new online virtual platform is nationwide, providing uncensored content, virtual appointments, laboratory testing, diagnostics, prescriptions, treatment packages specifically for COVID, post-COVID, vaccine injury syndromes, and all the usual things that are seen in primary care. And then we have an entire array of holistic products, an online store, media, and health advice. Come see the Wellness Company and go to onlinehealthnow.com as a conduit to the Wellness Company.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
During Kanye West's appearance on The Alex Jones Show, he praised Hitler while reading the Bible. He spoke about Zionists, but failed to mention how they worked hand in hand with the Nazis to create Israel. He spoke out against porn, but begged God to allow him his supermodel habit. And the entire time, he wore a Balenciaga-styled BDSM mask, without ever mentioning his close relationship with them. It was the epitome of cognitive dissonance. And as the political right praise Kanye as a Christian, the political left attack him as a racist, both sides dancing together in gay fascination with the celebrity. This is also called idol worship, and humans have a weak spot for it, although few will ever admit it.
Bring in the clowns. There will be clowns.
And while satiated with their bread and circus, one of Kanye's biggest benefactors, the CCP, is able to quietly round up thousands of protesters and disappear them without disturbing the sleeping masses. The China Show on YouTube has been doing a great job of covering this. The protests are nationwide, and they are directed against Xi and the entire CCP.
This is Renmin Wan Sui. In China, you'll hear Gongchandan Wan Sui, which means like Communist Party, long live the Communist Party. They're saying long live the people. Yes. It's things like this that really you would never see in China, because the repercussions for doing this sort of thing are drastic in China.
For the first time in decades, we are seeing a united solidarity among the people.
He's saying, give me liberty or give me death. Okay, that's what he's shouting. And you've got people actually chanting along with him, okay, which is normally not the case. Yeah. Because people are like, holy crap, if someone's doing that, they're like, he's crazy, stay away from me, I don't want anything to do with it. Yeah. But the important thing is what happens when the police do finally arrive. They rescued him. And I mean, this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this happen in China. Okay?
And it's happening all over China.
We have Lanzhou, we have Chongqing, we have other parts of Guangzhou which were already protesting.
Yes.
We have Beijing. We have third tier, fourth tier, fifth tier cities. We have top tier universities down to low level vocational schools.
Yeah.
We have people in the streets. We have officials being kidnapped out of government buildings. We have people parading through the streets. We have people tearing down police stations. We have PLA deployed, People's Liberation Army. We have SWAT teams. We have this across the entire country.
The reason we've only seen a glimpse of this massive protest is the CCP's censorship. They routinely stop people on the train and check their phones for VPNs. And they jam the signals once a protest breaks out.
They're sending signal jammers into places of protest in order to, stop people's cell phones so they can't send messages, they can't send videos.
And people are coming into massive clashes just right in the street, and people are getting cell phone videos out before the signal jammers can show up. We're seeing stuff come to a head, and then it just stops.
And because everyone is required to have their mobile phone apps in order, the police simply switched off the apps where the protests were happening so that nobody could board the train. Because of the phone apps, they knew exactly where to find everyone. So they knocked on doors, beat people in their own homes, and dragged them off to the quarantine camps. While Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates believe communist China is the model for the world, BlackRock's CEO says that the markets prefer totalitarian government. And here's how it works.
All right,
If
this
your
is
mobile
another
app goes
powerful Greg Reese report, but it's a longer one than usual. It's at band.video. It cracks the code, needs to go super viral. It's at band.video. Go to the left-hand side, click on the link that shows you all the providers of the fourth link down. Get it and share it. We're right back with critical intel, the secret of what Ye really said. December 2022 is here, and we are proud and very excited to announce that free shipping is back at InfoWarsStore.com. That's right, free shipping on all orders of $50 or more. But we've signed a new deal with a big national shipping company, and they're able to cut our regular shipping cost by up to 50%. So that means even on orders that are below $50, you're going to be paying way lower than you were previously. This is a game changer. We're so excited about it. Our listeners had really asked for free shipping again. We couldn't afford it before, but by moving to a bigger national distributor, we're able to do it. So now your orders will be shipped even faster, the same great customer service and more. So get huge discounts and free shipping on so many great items at InfoWarsStore.com right now. I want to thank you all for your support, but now there's no excuse to boost your immune system, lead a healthier life, and keep InfoWars on the air. InfoWarsStore.com.
Front lines of the information war. It's Alex Jones.
All right, Kanye West, now Ye, was in studio for 3 hours and 10 minutes on Thursday, and it was hands down the biggest thing we ever did. We had up to 60, 70 million people tune in on the election in the few days leading up to an election day, 2016. The globalists saw that, came after us 10 times harder. They admitted it. Oh my God, he had 87 million viewers in 3 days. We got to stop this. And those were people on the site watching the videos, clicking the links, not to mention the hundreds of radio stations. And so now this thing was absolutely huge. And I'll give you the inside baseball. I said, look, you can talk about whatever you want, but I really want to get off the Jew stuff. It's a distraction. But if you want to spend some time on that, go ahead. Oh, no, it's about love and, human trafficking and the election and all this. But I said to him, you're not a Nazi, are you? And then that's where the whole provocateur thing went. And he means it to shake up the internet and point out the hypocrisy on the side. He basically admitted that it was a provocateur action. And he certainly got what he wanted. Okay? Since then, a lot's happened. I got a call and they said, hey, Elon Musk does these chats that only people that get invited can find, and then people share it, kind of like Treehouse was a few years ago. He's on right now with like 50 people. By the time I got on, it was like 100, and he was talking about he wanted to punch Ye in the face and how I tried to rein him in, which made me the reasonable one. We got that clip coming up. Nobody's even put that clip out. It's on Infowars.com. So a lot of stuff is in the background here, but I got sent a link Saturday morning I guess a podcast Friday that I thought, it's like a 10-minute clip. It's posted on Infowars.com. We posted it Saturday, but I'm going to hear just a few minutes of it here, where Royce White, former NBA player, MMA fighter, and no stranger to the show. I really respect him. I think he's one of the best brains we've got out there, so I've tried to boost what he's doing. And he's been very prolific for years, but he's really exploding right now, and that's a good thing. His analysis cut right through to the heart of it. That and exactly what Ye was doing. If you're going to say somebody's saying they love Hitler's bad, or that they love Nazis, but they also love Zionists, it was tongue-in-cheek. Well, what about our government? Now, the only thing Royce got wrong, and he's right, mainstream news says 1,000+ high-level Nazis. Werner von Braun, Goddard, you name it. Klaus Barbie. But mainline news admits actually 35 to 37 to 40,000 Nazis were brought in after World War II to help run the deep state. And that's because Nazism came out of eugenics in England and the U.S. Not our whole government, but that movement. That's a historical fact. And so in the Cold War, they wanted them here because they'd actually basically picked up globalist ideology, but only done it under Hitler's direction in a little bit different way. So Royce points out, before everybody shakes their finger at Ye, it's not about defending Kanye. It's about, okay, well, if he's bad then for saying he loves Hitler, how about our government bringing in Hitler type people that actually were the heart of Hitler's operation, and then having them run secret programs releasing radiation on poor people in Appalachia or New Mexico or on Native American tribes, but white people too. It's poor people they hit. Or shooting up 10,000+ black men with syphilis and letting them then spread it. So the Nazis weren't exported here. They were coming home. And he breaks that down. And I didn't see his whole podcast. He was a guest on the show, but I watched the 10-minute clip that I was sent. It's on Infowars.com. But here's a few minutes of that. Then we'll go to Royce White, because he cuts right to the chase of the PSYOP and the internet. And the whole culture we're in is a product of these eugenicists and these mind wars. And to sit there and then have them point at Ye as if he's the devil is a total fraud. Here it is.
Operation Paperclip. Let's not get lost on Kanye West saying that he loves Nazis, because we, as a country, love the Nazis. We loved the Nazis, and we still love the Nazis. Now, who were the Nazis? That's an important question that we need to answer today. Who were the Nazis? What was Operation Paperclip? Why did we bring 1,600, so they say, could have been 16,000, could have been 106,000, we don't know. Why did they bring 1,600 of the Nazi Party's top scientists and political figures, not just scientists, but also political leaders of the Nazi Party? Why did they bring them into the American government? See, in there lies the moral hazard that undergirds this entire deal. They got nothing to do with Kanye. Kanye doesn't even know about it. That's not the purview of what he's bringing to the table. But I will. I'll ask the question, why did we, after World War II, when we made it seem like we went to fight for the massacre of the Jews, take the very people who orchestrated it and assimilate them into our military and government? Why did we do that? Why were the people who actually funded the Nazi war machine on the front end from Wall Street then have the ability to reincorporate Nazi science and philosophy into America's government and military? Why? Because we were more concerned with military power, political power, economic power, than we were the principle. We're the sellouts. Our nation has more